The constant loud rattle and chatter of most crushers not only creates an unpleasant work environment, it stresses cattle, which makes them harder to handle and to process efficiently. Silencer has a patented noise reduction system designed to eliminate this noise. There is no steel on steel in any of the contact points. It is the quietest crush on the market, and hence the name, Silencer.
Our cattle are coming out a lot quieter. There's no injuries, there's no lameness, there's no thrashing, and also whilst we're working, I can talk on the phone, I can have a conversation with my staff, and I actually look forward to the work.
The problem with many crushers is that people are seen working and moving in the animal's flight zone. Animals feel crowded and either rush to get past or balk. The black louvers on the side of the Silencer provides the animal with only a clear, forward view. This results in calmer cattle and a smooth, steady flow.
These spins, it's incredible how these spins just, stop any balking from the animal to the human. They're happily to walk in there because there's no one forcing them back, and you can still see through them and see what's going on.
Head control can only be achieved by first gaining control of the animal's body. Silencer achieves maximum head control by first gaining control of the animal's body by correct use of the upper and lower squeeze.
When you catch them with an old one, first thing you do is just throw themselves and go berserk. But with the Silencer, the animal's completely restrained. You can get in there, pre-test it, whatever you want to do. It's not moving, and it just speeds the whole operation up tenfold.
How many cattle do you process per day divided by your daily labour cost? How much extra time are your cattle spending in the yards? Several Silencer clients have increased their cattle throughput and labour productivity by well over 100%.
In an old style crush, if it takes you 5 seconds to get the animal out, because when you let its head off it walks backwards, and 5 seconds later you get it to go out and then walk the next one in. And if you've got to do 1,000 cattle by 5 seconds, it takes you 1 hour and 20 a day just to get the animal out of the crush. And it doesn't with this crush. The minute you let its head off, then let the squeeze off, it just walks straight out and the next one behind follows it straight in. We've had to put people down the backyard to try and keep up with the crush. That's how efficient it is.
Animal injuries are all too common in poorly designed cattle crushers. This also needs to be factored when considering the productivity of your crush. Silencers come with pressure relief valves to prevent over-squeezing of animals while gently restraining them. This prevents injury and stress to the animals.
I've seen so many cattle injured and maimed over the years from putting them in these, manual head bales, because as soon as you catch hold of an animal by the neck, it just wants to throw itself on the ground, and it just takes away all that. It's just the best bit of machinery I've ever seen.
Cattle are identified as the leading source of injuries to agricultural workers. Many of these injuries are due to incorrectly restrained cattle caused by poorly designed cattle crushers. Silencer safely and humanely restrains the animal. This not only provides a safe working environment for staff, it also prevents the animal knocking themselves about and becoming stressed. With all the time spent educating cattle and the great training of low-stress cattle handling, along with all the improvements of yard design and cattle flow, I often wonder why all this good work is totally overlooked and ignored when an animal steps up the race into a noisy, poorly designed cattle crush.
I really went out and searched for a crush that would stop hurting people, number one, and stop hurting cattle, number two. These Silencer crushers, since we've had them, and we've been working them very hard for 6 or 8 months now, we haven't hurt anybody in them, and we haven't hurt any animals. We're putting through, 1,300 a day through these crushers. We're doing all different sorts of livestock, from calves through to cows. We're not getting any injuries to people or livestock.
Well, when it comes to safety, I'm very conscientious. That's where this crush comes into play. There's not one moving part on it or one thing we do to an animal that potentially puts a person at risk.
Contact us to discuss and provide solutions on improving your cattle processing requirements.